Hello and welcome back to another episode of Heat Digest. We have massive news to cover revolving around the Miami Heat, including a longtime Miami Heat point guard has officially retired. Also, massive injury report updates, including Jimmy Butler. And finally, a recap of the two-game slide the Miami Heat are currently on during their five-game road stand. All in this episode of Heat Digest. Well, it's time to say goodbye to Goran Dragic. He played 7 years with the Miami Heat organization from 2014 to 2021, playing 391 games during that time, averaging 16 points, 5 assists, and 3.5 rebounds during his tenure with the Miami Heat. He was a joy to watch. He was never a Kyrie Irving type of player. He was never the fastest. He was never the flashiest, but he was very consistent. He was very good at what he did, and that left-handed jump shot and that left-handed floater really was just perfect every time you got to watch it as it was coming off the left hand, and it was different, but it was effective, and it was always a joy to watch. So I hope retirement treats you well, Goran Dragic. Thank you for your time and your effort, especially for the Miami Heat, but really your entire career. It was a joy to watch. But let's get into the Miami Heat injury report update because there's massive news about Jimmy Butler. Now, what am I referring to with Jimmy Butler? Well, he was sidelined for 4 games with a calf injury. He came back Saturday night against the Utah Jazz in Utah just to play 24 minutes and not really be himself. Now, here is the injury report. Jimmy Butler, as of this morning, was listed as day-to-day with foot irritation, right foot irritation. It is the reason he missed last night's game, Monday night, January 1st game, against the Los Angeles Clippers. Along with Jimmy Butler, Caleb Martin is out with an ankle injury. He also missed last night's game, along with Josh Richardson and Hayward Highsmith. Richardson has a back injury and will probably be back in anywhere from 5 to 7 days for Hayward Highsmith. He's in concussion protocol after Saturday night's loss to Utah, and now he will miss the remainder of this road stand for Miami. Hopefully we get him back for the game against Phoenix in just 5 days when we return back home after this 5-game road stand. That is to be determined up to this point. For Jimmy Butler, it was a calf injury for 4 games. He came back against Utah. Here are his numbers. All he played was 23 minutes. He only shot the ball 3 times. Really didn't look like himself. I feel like he came back a game early. He might have known he was coming back a little early because of it being in Utah, because of it being a 5-game road stand. I would have enjoyed if he would have just sat another game. And now, because he did play, he now is dealing with a right foot irritation rather than a calf injury. Hopefully it's just the irritation to the right foot and not a bone bruise or any form of broken crack, fracture, some type of thing to his right foot, because that would mean he'd be missing a extensive amount of time rather than just being listed as day to day. So that is a positive we can take away from this, but again, it is never good to see your star player being injured for any amount of time, especially when it's Jimmy Butler, and it's been as tedious and as just like it seems like it's a calf injury, which isn't a big deal, but if you press it, it can become very significant. He comes back, he plays 23 minutes. It's not really Jimmy Butler. Just let him sit until he's ready to go and he's Jimmy again, because there's no reason to force it, have things linger, and they turn into bigger problems. So as of now, day to day for Jimmy Butler, who's the biggest question mark on the injury report. Everyone else will probably be back anywhere from 4 to 7 days. Hopefully, I know concussion protocol isn't something serious, especially when it's a player's head, a human's brain. Hopefully, Hayward Highsmith does get through the process effectively and efficiently, and things are well on the other side of things. But he will not play for the rest of the road stand for Miami. Let's get into the 2-game slide that we're currently on and how Jimmy Butler's absence has really been felt. I pulled up the box score for just a period of time. It was for the Utah game from this past Saturday night. It wasn't a great game for Miami. Fatigue was a serious factor, and it showed. It really did show. Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero played very well, and Bam Adebayo was the best player on the floor for the Miami Heat, clearly, as he added 28 points, 16 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, and 3 blocks in 37 minutes while shooting 7 of 13 from the field and 14 of 20 from the free throw line by himself. Yes, you heard me correctly. 14 made free throws in 20 attempts from Bam Adebayo himself. Great stuff from Bam. He is overall the number one option and the best option on the Miami Heat currently, especially with Jimmy Butler sideline. The number two option, I would say, Tyler Hero. Didn't play too bad. He didn't shoot great. It's been a constant theme, as you'll see the box score for last night's game against the Clippers. It was a lot more of this same stuff, as Tyler Hero did have a 25-point game. He did shoot 9 of 22 from the field, including 2 of 7 from 3. He added 6 rebounds and 6 assists with a steal and a block in this game. Again, overall, he played pretty well, but the shooting percentages are on the lower side of things. Kevin Love and Duncan Robinson will be the last two players I acknowledge in this box score, as they played pretty well off the bench. Kevin Love added 20 minutes. He added 12 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and while shooting 4 of 11 from the field, playing his role, not being the imposer, but really just making the open shots that he's given. And he's effective, but he's not perfectly efficient. But again, that is a trend for the entire Miami Heat team, as fatigue has been a serious issue on this road stand. Duncan Robinson shot 50%, 4 of 8 from the field, including 3 of 5 from behind the three-point line, 11 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks for young Duncan Robinson, who has been a joy to watch. Like I've mentioned a few times, he's really extended his game. He relied a lot on the three-point shot in that Utah game, but here is the game, or the box score from last night's game against the Los Angeles Clippers. This one was not as pretty or as close for the Miami Heat. It was back and forth up until about the 5-minute mark in the third quarter, when the Los Angeles Clippers really found their groove in their half-court offense and was really able to punish the Miami Heat for the lack thereof of their own offense. Now, Bam Adebayo, again, played pretty well. 21 points, 15 rebounds, 4 assists. He didn't shoot all that well, though. Once again, this trend is continuing for the Miami Heat. 6 of 17 from the field. He shot 2 threes, missing them both. Again, from the free throw line, Bam Adebayo is really doing it all. 9 of 13 by himself from the free throw line. Great numbers. Jamal Cain got the start over R.J. Hampton and Kyle Lowry, who is also sidelined currently. Or he did play this game, but he was sidelined going into this game, I should say. Jamal Cain added 9 points. Shot 4 of 12. Not a great percentage. Tyler Hero, 4 of 13. Jaime Jaquez Jr., 6 of 13. 0 of 3 from 3. Just not the greatest performances from the Miami Heat. Duncan Robinson, 3 of 8 from the field. Just overall, not really being able to find our footing, not being able to find our jump shot. Here's from the team stats. This is graphics from ESPN. This really breaks it down. It's easier to read. We were there in the rebounding battle, only beat out by 2. We won the turnover battle as we had 3 less than Los Angeles. But when you look at the shooting percentages from both the field and the three-point line, it really tells a story. Not great from the Miami Heat. 42% from the field, 32% from the three-point line. If we reopen the box score, you can look down at the bottom here. We shot in total as a team 11 of 34 from the three-point line. That is not going to get it done in any game, really. And then from the field, we shot 35 of 83 from the field. Just not going to get it done from the Miami Heat standpoint, especially when you're living and dying on the three-point line. Like in these last 2 games, we really have, as we've missed a lot of threes and we're taking even more threes. Because of that, we're putting ourselves in a hole. Without Jimmy Butler, we're relying on people like Jaquez, R.J. Hampton, Kevin Love, Duncan Robinson. Again, we're not looking for 25, 30 points from these guys that I just listed off, but we're looking from that 12 to 16 point range, and them being consistent, shooting effectively, and not forcing shots, but being able to get up effective shots while being efficient. And when we lose someone like Jimmy Butler, it just really stagnates the offense. Again, Eric Spoelstra has done a great job in mixing up the lineups, providing different options for the team. We're just really trying to figure out what is perfect for us without that key number one, when he's there most of the time, Jimmy Butler. But we have a game tomorrow night, Wednesday, January 3rd, against the Los Angeles Lakers in Los Angeles. It is our 3rd game of this road stand. Hopefully, the Miami Heat are well rested. I know the fatigue has been a significant injury or significant problem for the Miami Heat. And hopefully Jimmy Butler goes from day to day to active, and we get to see him make an appearance in one that is more than 23 minutes long, where he seems like he is comfortable and himself in that game. So I'll see you for a recap of tomorrow night's game against the Los Angeles Lakers.